announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
It is he, it is me, P-double-D-E, Tepwa, cooing into Place to Be Reviews right here with all of yous, the Fandom Menace, People's Champion, and I'm just too sweet here on Going Rogue episode 12, Wednesday night. Good evening to my chat. You guys are amazing. I'm not going to set this down right now because I'll probably drop it. It's transparent with the background. I've got a great panel, but let me bring in my co-host first, ladies and gentlemen, the co-host with the most, Mr. Tony Tone Deaf.
It is the owner of the worst channel on YouTube and commander to the legion of deaf heads, the world's wokest warrior, primitive-sided, toxic fanboy aligned with the like-minded, Tony Tone Deaf, rocking with you. We're going in Rogue, the Place to Be Reviews. What's up, everybody in the chat? It's good to see you, Mr. Keely Chow, Mad Martigan. What's that? Akuma the Legend, Adam Shawhan, the super fan. Everybody, what's up? Everyone on the panel, it's good to see you. I'm looking forward to a great show. Yes, sir.
All right. Wow. I'm stuttering like crazy. I don't know what's going on, but I just want to say hi to everybody. Thank you for having me today. I really love being here on ETEP's channel, the Place to Be Reviews, and I like hanging out with Tony, and I think we have another special panelist I cannot wait to hang out with. So who's behind door number 4?
We are waiting for the arrival of Paulie. From Latino Slant. He will be here shortly. He was running a bit behind, but yeah, man, thanks for being here, Culture. Yeah. And Tony, as always, we've got a big show. Did I mute myself through my whole intro?
Not the whole intro.
Oh, okay. I was like, I had, because I saw Tony. I said I was muted. I was like, did I do a fucking Enter the Unfamiliar? I muted myself through my own intro. he was it last week. He did that on TR4, I think it was. Yeah. Whole intro had himself muted. We're all like, you're muted. Then, yep, me here I go, starting out the show.
No, it was good. You're beautiful.
It's all good. I feel like Dave Chappelle. Now, as I take a sip of my soda, I'm sure somebody is spitting too. All right, the player haters ball. No, we're gonna start off the night with before we get into. I'm gonna stall a little bit here and wait for Paulie, but Batwoman from Sunday night. Holy shit! That the ratings. I did a video, just a quick 5-minute video comparing the ratings from season 1 to this one, and oh my God, it's horrendous. Like, this last episode had like 500,000 viewers, I think. That is the lowest in the last 2 episodes have been so woke they could cure narcolepsy. But before we get into any more of that, let me bring in our 4th panel member. Ladies and gentlemen, Paulie from the Latino Slant.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. And good evening.
I just woke up.
Hey, I don't blame you. I would take a nap right now too if I could.
Sorry for being late, sir.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Thank you for joining us, Paulie.
Thank you.
I
It's
appreciate
like that time frame where it's fashionably on time, bro. You're good.
Yeah, you're right here. I was just starting. He saved everybody from me talking about Batwoman. I mean, hell. But no, man, it was the episode. Like I said, I've been hearing. I was watching my good friend Grace Randolph talk about
hello.
She's listening to her talk about how good Javicia Leslie is in this role, and I was like, imagine every word of what you just said was wrong. Like she just, oh God, like she's bad and the writing is bad. It's just cringy. And speaking of cringy, we have this segment here we do on Wednesday nights.
Oh, I thought you were going to introduce Mad Martigan.
No, he's not joining us. He's over on Mary Mayhem's channel tonight, which is next Wednesday. Program alert! Next Wednesday there won't be a Rogue show here. I'm going to be over on Mary Mayhem's channel. So if you want to catch me next Wednesday night, that's where you can find me. But right now we're going to talk about. Oh God, it's holy shit news, and man, do we have some doozies this evening for this segment. And oof, boy, yeah. So I just hope that I hope the gods of YouTube don't hate me too much for this. But let's play the intro clip here to Holy Shit News.
Holy shit!
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I don't know. Were you thinking, holy shit, a swordfish almost went through my head?
Holy shit!
Holy shit! And all the assholes want us to shit all over everything.
Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
So here we are over on the Smoking Gun. Yes. And let's get this ad off here. Man will cop to mutilating his wife's lover. Prosecution wants assailant to serve 30 years behind bars. And this first, can we just acknowledge this first three words? The Florida man. I mean,
you knew it. I mean, what he's saying doesn't sound that crazy, depending on the context of the situation. I mean, maybe he's one of them. Maybe he moved down from New York. He used to be a wise guy. He was a little upset. You know, he saw his wife, that vein bulged in his forehead, and that temper got the best of him, you know?
Oh my God. So the Florida man charged with mutilating his wife's bound lover is set to plead guilty to the scissor attack, though he claims to have blacked out during the incident and cannot recall any details of the bloody offense, which left the victim with a severed penis. Alex Bonilla, 51, is scheduled to plead guilty Thursday to multiple felony charges in connection with the horrifying July 2019 assault inside the victim's mobile home in Bell, a town 40 miles west of Gainesville. Bonilla, who has been jailed since his arrest, lived across the street from the victim, who is married with 2 young daughters. Bonilla, a father of 5 who immigrated from El Salvador in 1990, resided with his 35-year-old second wife and the couple's 3 young children. Wow, look at him, 51 with a 35-year-old wife. Good for you.
Well, maybe that led to some of the problems.
I think it did. Prosecutors will ask a circuit court judge to sentence Bonilla to 30 years in prison, according to a state attorney's office spokesperson. Bonilla has been charged with kidnapping, burglary, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. A pre-sentence report filed last month by the Florida Department of Corrections provides a harrowing account of Bonilla's attack, which came 2 months after he caught his wife having sex with the victim.
That shit just marinated on his mind, bro.
Oh Lord.
He was going to work every day thinking about that, going to sleep thinking about that.
What was that Eminem song? Meet Clarence, a 35-year-old construction worker. He comes home from a long day of work to his trailer park home only to find his wife in bed with another man. What the fuck? No. This guy.
Wow, I felt like I was in an Eminem song. That's amazing. That's amazing.
So, in an interview with probation officer, Bonilla said he met with the victim in the man's home and told him, "You need to stay away from my wife and leave her alone." Bonilla claimed that a scuffle ensued with him tackling the victim. That the defendant stated he then blacked out and doesn't remember anything from that point until his arrest later that day. at the dairy where he'd worked for nearly 20 years. The victim, however, provided a gruesome, detailed recollection of the premeditated attack that began with Bonilla showed up at his home, seen below, with a 9mm handgun tucked under his arm. I came here to fix something, Bonilla said, according to the victim. Ay Dios mío. After accompanying the victim into a bedroom, Bonilla first threatened to strike the man with a metal pipe. He removed his pants. Bonilla then tied the victim's hands behind his back, saying, "You're not going to die, but you are going to have something to remember this for your whole life." Bonilla then pulled down the man's shorts, saying, "This is normal. You will not die today." Oh, my God. I probably shouldn't be laughing this hard at this, but I can't help it. I'm just picturing this whole thing going down. Him saying, "No, this is normal. Nothing about this is normal, Holmes.
You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Yeah.
It's okay.
It'll be all right. Yeah.
It's okay, bud. No.
Brace yourself.
Yeah, you might want to bite down on this."
Here's a belt. Put it in your mouth.
After putting on a pair
Am I on the right stream?
I think so.
Shit.
After putting on a pair of gloves, Bonilla tied a rubber band at the base of the victim's penis several times to cut off the circulation. He then took out a pair of scissors and said, "This is for all the women you have been having relationships with," as blood spurted everywhere. Bonilla cut off 3/4 of the victim's penis. Before departing with the severed organ, Bonilla warned the victim, "Don't act this way. This is normal. And if you try to call the police, I'll be out in 2 months and I'll come back and finish this."
This is premeditated. Jeez.
Holy shit.
I thought it sat on his mind for 2 months and he snapped and went over there in a flurry of passion. No, man, he had blueprints.
And can I just quote the critical drinker? "It'll be fine. Why did he cut off his whole penis? Don't know." Jesus.
I mean, he's pragmatic. It ain't going to happen again.
That's true. I mean, he's a man of his word. This is going to solve a problem.
I woke up for this.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Paulie. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Paulie. So
This is really waking me up.
the victim whose penis was not recovered told the probation officer that urinating and the ability to have sex with his wife have been messed up for the rest of his life.
How?
Yeah, the doctors have told him, "We will never have sensation in this penis again."
See, they found bobbits on the side of the freeway overpass or whatever the hell the freeway exit like.
And he became a porn star after that.
Oh, good for him.
Bobbitt became a porn star after
Bobbitt.
Yeah, John Wayne Bobbitt. Dude, Lorena was fucking hot, but she was nuts, man. He shouldn't have messed her. See, that's
Were they begging the perpetrator for the cock then?
Give us the cock back.
They had him in like the questioning room, like it's 3 a.m. Like, please just tell us where the dick is.
They're beating him. They're beating him with the phone book. Where's the dick? Oh my God.
Tony, ETEP, we have to talk after this.
This is real life.
Dude, I get on some weird streams.
Yeah.
And this one's almost as much as Mad Martigan's animal murder on Street Smarts every week.
Holy shit. That's why this is in the holy shit news portion of the program. Our second one, I promise you, it will not disappoint, as it is just as good, because you know why? It's another Florida story. Walmart wanker told the police he was lonely.
Are you lonesome?
Put him in the cell with the first guy. He's in Florida too. Let's do this.
Honeydew, do you miss my penis tonight?
Walmart wanker told police he was lonely. Evidence was pointing right at the Florida cops. Oh, God. Florida, you need to get your shit. Florida, look, Florida, I need you to listen to me for a minute, all right? And this is coming from somebody from Michigan. You need to get your shit. Get it all together. All in one group, okay? Get it together. Whatever you got to do, get that shit together, all right? I know we're
Shall
not.
I come back again, honeydew? Where's my penis tonight?
I've just done more sit-ups laughing than I have in the last 10 years. February 18th, a man who was spotted pleasuring himself inside a Kia in a Walmart parking lot told Florida cops he was lonely because his former girlfriend was in Colorado. I'll take things he never had for 2,000, Tony.
He's in a Kia.
Want to see in a Kia? Police were summoned yesterday afternoon to a Walmart in Vero Beach by a woman who reported that a man who was parked next to her was masturbating while behind the wheel of a car that had its driver's side window open. Oh, God.
If you gotta go, that's the way to go.
So at this point, the guy just threw caution to the wind and said, you know what? I'm just going for it.
And semen.
Upon arriving at the parking lot, cops stopped a Kia with out-of-state plates and asked the driver to exit the vehicle. Kyle Weiss, 26. Of course, he's a Kyle. Look at this guy. He's a Kyle. Stepped out of his car. There was little doubt he was the suspect being sought. I noticed he had an obvious erection protruding in his shorts.
When he stepped out of the car, it's just monster cans and tissues.
He's like Kyle from Road Trip. Weiss initially denied exposing himself and claimed that he was at the retailer as a food shopper, according his business is like Uber Eats, buying food delivered to customers. So he just masturbates in parking lots in between runs.
Quick pick me up.
Oh God. So yeah, that's Kyle. Ladies and gentlemen, that's holy shit headline number 2. Anybody else want to weigh in on this one?
Well, I mean, they got to the point quickly.
Oh, Kyle.
All we are is dust in the wind.
There you go. Thank you, Paulie. Way to
yeah. Hail M Dastardly. How are you, sir? Let me Tony, you got anything to add on this one? I'm going to pull up the third headline.
I think it speaks for itself.
Yeah, well, or other things it did for itself, clearly.
Yeah.
No. Look, you can't top these last 2 stories. First of all, they're both in Florida, and second off, they both involve penises. So, well done.
Well played, Florida. Well played indeed. Well, headline number 3: motorist blames rap song for 120-mile-an-hour bust. I'm sorry, I didn't know driving reckless was illegal. February 22nd. In what may be the worst explanation for driving 50 miles per hour over the posted limit, a 21-year-old motorist told cops that he was speeding on a Florida highway. Another Florida story. It is the unholy hat trick tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because he was listening to a song named Siento Viente. Is that how I say it, Paulie?
Siento Viente?
Siento Viente. Okay.
Siento Viente.
Which means 120. So I was driving 120. Oh, okay. Cops allege that Richard Lee Ortecho. Richard Lee Ortecho was spotted weaving in and out of traffic Saturday evening on Interstate 95 near Vero Beach. Ortecho, driving a Volkswagen, was clocked at speeds ranging between 120 and 127 in a 70-mile-an-hour zone. Ortecho barely missed striking other vehicles, according to an arrest affidavit, and did not immediately stop when a cop car with its lights flashing gave chase. When Ortecho finally pulled over, he said, "I'm sorry, I didn't know driving reckless was illegal," cops report. Asking why he was driving in excess of 120 miles an hour, Ortecho offered an answer. Ortecho said he was driving while listening to a song, a Siento Viente, a cut on an EP released last year by the rapper Track Insano. Ortecho noted that Siento Viente means 120, so I was driving 120. So yeah, I guess you can use that as an excuse now. I mean,
it makes sense in his world.
Whatever mental gymnastics you have to do, right?
Despacito. Should have slowed that shit down.
Oh man, yeah. This so yeah, we have literally a Florida man hat trick this evening.
What is up with that dude's shirt? It's like he left the coat hanger in it.
It looks like he just got a haircut.
I was gonna say, was he at the barber shop and just left with the thing on?
Yeah, man. Look, seriously, it's like there's something in there. Like, is it like half a shoulder pad? That's just weird looking, man.
Yeah, it is. I'd rather, to be honest, because there are places with no speed limit. I'd rather him be driving 120 in a 70 than these stories I hear somebody driving like 70 in a 25, because that's the only place I think there really should be a speed limit is residential and like schools. And so I'd rather him do 120 on the freeway than 70 down a residential street,
Yep.
It just goes to show you what shitty music is out there and what it does to people.
This is the effects of bad music on the psyche of the apparently the weak-minded.
Oh, you got Tom's here.
Yep. Hail Tom from Midnight's Edge After Dark. Why is Paulie singing everywhere I go? Because he has those dulcet tones and it's so soothing.
We had a good time on a Midnight's Edge today. We were singing a lot.
Still not as bad as the heroin snorting Columbia professor. Hey,
that sounds kind of fun.
Right. It's like you're at Columbia, right? And you let your hair down, just blow some hair on, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's all in the name of high. That's why they call it higher education. I mean, shit.
Hey, there was a movie.
Higher learning?
Higher education. Oh, yeah, that was it.
Higher learning. Oh, dude, that's a great movie. It's got Lawrence Fishburne as a professor. Peppermint. Peppermint. Ice Cube is the disaffected militant young black man back when Ice Cube was still probably considered one of the angriest black men in America back in the day. That's when he was great with NWA. Right when he left NWA, his rap was at its peak. I could talk about Ice Cube and his freaking career for a whole stream, but we're not going to do that tonight. No, because we're going to break into our next topic, which is coming right up after these commercial messages.
What are you doing, JP?
Just thinking about my game.
Huh. How's that going?
People will bow to it.
All right. That's creepy.
I hate your face.
Did you say something? You're fucking weird.
How can he see me?
Here we are right here, bounding into comics, ladies and gentlemen. Star Wars fans obliterate Disney and Lucasfilm for endorsing Chinese slavery while condemning violence against Asian American Pacific Islanders. Before we get into this, can we just acknowledge the straight hypocrisy that Disney is just guilty of on a daily basis now? I mean, it's not even comical anymore. I mean, it's a joke.
I'm going 13 letters. If they're 13 letters, you can't how long is life and you can't learn fucking Y and X and 13 letters. What else are you doing on Hawaii?
What?
What's coming out of the island? What are you exporting besides coconuts and Lays? What are you doing that you're so busy you can't learn the rest of the alphabet?
Oh, Moana?
Just saying.
Oh, it's getting weird up in here. It's getting weird. It's weird.
Well, if you missed the entire Florida Man beginning, it was nothing but dicks and It was dicks and
Bastard.
yeah. It was a hot mess of dicks.
Reckless dicks.
Reckless dicks. Wait, what is this nonsense? Chinese slavery, says YTL. Hail YTL. Thank you for joining us. And Cavitano Cavalry Trooper Che is here. Thank you for joining us, sir. Be sure to smack that like button while you're here. And if you're so inclined, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let's get into this article from our good friend, Mr. John F. Trent at Bounding into Comics. The official Star Wars Facebook account recently posted an image condemning violence against Asian American Pacific Islanders during Lunar New Year or the Chinese New Year. Fans responded to the post by calling them out for their hypocrisy and double standards, noting they actively support the Chinese government that enslaves our fellow human beings. The Facebook account posted, "The celebration of the Lunar New Year has been marred by the continued wave of violence against Asian American Pacific Islanders across the United States. We have spent the last week learning and listening to our friends, colleagues, and partners who are the most affected." It continues, "We stand with our AAPI family and want to amplify the voices of organizations that fight for civil rights and stand against hate. Asian Americans Advancing Justice, AAJC, and Stop AAPI Hate." Good God, can I buy a consonant? The post concludes, "Please join us in supporting the important work that they're doing in fighting racism." And here's the tweet or the post on their Facebook page. I'm sorry. Let's see. So Star Wars fans en masse were not having it. Every single comment I saw was taking the brand Lucasfilm, Disney to task for their cozy relationship with China, as evidenced by the shrinking of John Boyega's fin on a Chinese poster for The Force Awakens, and thanking the Communist Party of Xinjiang, where how do you pronounce that culture? Is that
Xinjiang?
And how do you say the
Uyghur.
The Uyghur concentration camps are held in their Mulan movie. Oh boy. You guys go ahead. Do you guys have any thoughts on this before we move on any further with this right now?
Dude, they've been taking an L for 2 weeks now. It's 2 weeks straight L for Disney Star Wars, specifically Star Wars. Disney has been taking an L longer than that. But when it comes to Star Wars, they're just throwing up the L left and right. This is a huge L because their hypocrisy is so great. They can't get out of their own way with the hypocrisy that they're throwing down right now. It's absolutely disgusting. And, Disney's even more culpable than even any of these people realize, because of many of the goods are manufactured possibly by people who are, forced labor in China, and it's just like I said, I mean, the hypocrisy is not without, it's without bounds. Let's just put it that way.
How many Mickey Mouse shoes are made every day in China by kids who should be wearing them?
Yeah. They do. This is the problem, and Disney's just like, it'll be fine, whatever.
They got suicide nets.
Yeah. That's is that when they make the phones?
Apple.
Yep.
Yeah.
I watched like a video, like a 30-minute like documentary about that on YouTube, I think it was, or something. I remember watching it. It was insane.
I just got this in. Lucasfilm has rewritten a David Bowie song in light of this article, and to support the Asian American community. Can I sing just a bit of it?
Absolutely. Go ahead, Paulie.
And when I get excited, my little China girl says, "Oh baby, just you shut your mouse." Mouse.
Oh no. Oh, Mickey Mouse. Kevin. Yeah, there we go right there, Mickey Mouse. Oh God. Oh, these guys. Many of the comments call out Star Wars and their parent company, Disney, for their silence on the Chinese government using the Uyghurs as slave labor. The Australian Strategic Policy Institute estimates that more than 80,000 Uyghurs were transferred out of Xinjiang to work in the factories across China between 2017 and 2019, and some of them were sent directly to detention camps. They add, the estimated figure is conservative and the actual figure is likely to be far higher. They aren't just enslaving the Uyghurs. The BBC reported that women in the camps have been systematically raped, sexually abused, and tortured. Golzira, not going to pronounce that, told the BBC, my job was to remove their clothes above the waist and handcuff them so they cannot move. She added, then I would leave the women in the room and a man would enter, some Chinese man from outside or a policeman. I sat silently next to the door, and when the man left the room, I took the woman for a shower. She also revealed that Chinese men would pay money to have their pick of the prettiest young inmates. Okay, so this is
human rights violations
Wow.
on a scale hitherto unseen, and yeah, they're all about the business. Disney's all about the business.
Yeah, and that's what they thank in the, oh my God. That's brutal. Like that is brutal just to even read through that. Like it really is.
Well, again, and this is just one of the 167 countries where these types of practices exist.
Yep.
So it just, it's a problem. I mean, there are multiple organizations that go around talking about this. I mean, it's documented far and wide. And the problem is the hypocrisy of Disney. Because they're in bed with the Chinese government. Because the Chinese government is 50% owner in what you're doing, and they have Shanghai Disney, right? They have Hong Kong Disney. They have a financial obligation to the CCP, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Iger's one customer is Z. President Z. That's it.
Yep.
And that's why it doesn't matter. Like, again, when we talk about woke culture, and I hear people say, well, maybe they're not listening to the fans and they'll listen to the fans. No. He's only listening to one fan.
Yep.
It is what it is, and that's why I hate to say the only real answer is to not support them, to quit feeding them, because all they're doing is just taking our funds and using them against us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
oh yeah, this is like I said, it's ridiculous. And Disney owns like how much of the entertainment media that we consume on a daily basis. And they're in bed with a foreign entity which really doesn't like us that much. I mean, to be honest, they don't hold us in the highest regard. They do hold a lot of our debt, but that's another topic altogether. God, yeah, this is just it's like I said, it's disgusting for a company that paints itself as a family company to be able to support this. It says not only is China enslaving the Uyghurs, but they also have a policy of kidnapping the children of their own people and selling them to orphanages. The United States Department of State reported in 2011 kidnapping and buying and selling of children for adoption increased over the past several years, particularly in poor rural areas. There was no reliable estimates of the number of children kidnapped. However, according to the media reports, as many as 20,000 children were kidnapped every year for illegal adoption. And the kidnapping was not just done by criminals, it was done by government forces, as well as documented in Amazon's One Child Nation documentary. Here's just a small example of the comments that were taking Star Wars, Lucasfilm, and Disney to task. Tracy Geimer wrote, seriously, it's one thing to call these people out when they do it, but when you stand with a country doing exactly what you're condemning, the words become empty. It just goes to show Disney values money over lives, except when it's convenient. Yeah, Israel Ulysses Gonzalez wrote, if you're going to virtue signal, maybe make sure your parent company isn't making movies in China. Yeah, so Disney would just continue to just get ripped apart by this. Yeah, it's
and these are the people calling Gina Carano aberrant, abhorrent. They're the ones that find what she has to say offensive, and it's no wonder why. I mean, if they're pro what the CCP is doing to these Uyghur Muslims, and then you have Gina Carano making a social media post on how to avoid that situation. No wonder why they're offended.
Mm-hmm.
They're obvious. It's clear where they stand.
These, and it just goes on to, them taking Disney to task. We're going to bring in a fifth member of the panel here. We're going to bring in Enter the Unfamiliar. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Hey there. Yeah, thanks for inviting me. I just got back. I was listening to you guys on Scott's The Dump. So I was taking a walk outside and came home and saw you send me a message. I thought I'd jump on.
Well, thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Let me I'll shoot you over a copy of the topics too real quick here while we're talking. I'm sorry I didn't
I saw something bad about Disney. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. What a shocker.
Yeah, that you would never ever think that you would see anything bad out of Disney, but yeah, lo and behold, they go and do something like this and totally redeem themselves.
Yeah, they're the statue of virtue, aren't they?
They are a shining light of virtue in what's a dim, dark world. Does anybody want to weigh in on this one? Where's like, no, I'm touching this. I ain't touching this one. Everybody's like, no, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. Go ahead.
No one wants to go against the mouse.
I know, right?
Well, I mean, I already sang my song. It's a political statement. I have another political statement if you want me to sing another song.
Absolutely.
Beaners like to eat beans. Thank you.
I thought
well done.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, the album will be released June 21st this year. That's Paulie's acoustic album.
But in serio, you don't have to look far. Grandpa Joe just reopened detention site facilities for migrant children. So, atrocities over there, you have atrocities over here.
Yep.
But now that Trump is gone, he can reopen them, even though he helped build them. But I didn't say that.
Yeah, but it's okay for him to open them up. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. He's just sniffing around down there. No worries, right? No worries at all. Just pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. It might be the Wizard of Oz. Who knows? I mean, it could be the Wizard of Oz. It could be, I don't know. Let's see. It could be this guy.
It's a Festivus miracle.
I don't know if it's Michael Richards behind the curtain. That would explain a lot. I don't know.
Miracle.
It's a Festivus miracle. I mean, hey, it could be this guy.
That's good.
I love the Seinfeld apartment final. I love that.
So do I. It warms my heart.
Oh, Shellback's in the house. What's up, Shellback?
Hey, Shellback.
Yes, it's going to be Latino Slant Unplugged. Yeah, and Culture is doing the promotional tour with me.
Is he playing? Please tell me he's playing ukulele in that.
I can actually play real instruments, but yeah, whatever, bro.
Hey, I can just
ukulele not a real instrument.
I was gonna say the ukulele is Tiny Tim would beg to differ.
Tiptoe through the tulips,
Have you ever heard that Hawaiian? I forget the guy's name now. Yeah, the Over the Rainbow. He's done a couple others, but my goodness, the ukulele.
He passed away.
He passed away. Oh no, really?
Yeah, quite a while ago. Yeah, he was one of my favorite Hawaiian singers. Absolutely.
Oh my god, yeah, his voice was amazing.
Amazing
version.
Over the rainbow. That's an export, Hawaii. Why are you so down on yourself? You have more than 13 letters. I don't know why you're all ragging on yourself. Hawaii, take some pride.
Oh my
dude was an amazing artist.
He was. God, one speaking of like artists, like because I watch those reality shows like, America's Got Talent and stuff like that. Like if I would have stayed in the wrestling business one more year, I was going to audition for Big Brother. And I saw those people on, what was it, America's Got Talent, the clairvoyants. Now I understand fully how their act works, but they were just like, they were so much fun to watch. Like, you know what they're doing. I understand how the whole thing works because they're not really clairvoyants, spoiler alert. But they definitely put on a good show. I will give them that. There's been a couple really good singers. I don't know if any of you watched that, but there was a girl who won a couple years ago. She was a ventriloquist, but she would sing through the puppets. And she had a beautiful voice. If I wouldn't get a claim for it, I'd play it. But yeah, damn, she was really good. She won when she was young, and she kept doing. It was like she should just sing. She doesn't even need to do ventriloquism, but she did. So hail Shellback, hail YTL. Let me play this quick clip right here. We're gonna talk about Cobra Kai next because I want to talk about something like that's enjoyable and fun. And I saw Paulie's face light up. Yeah. Because
we had to endure penises and.
Yep.
Man, I came in at the right point of the show.
Yeah, see, finally,
you did.
Finally, you came at the right spot. You missed all the dick talk. You missed all the dick. You missed all the dicks. You missed all the Florida man. We had an unholy hat trick. All the stories, the holy shit news were from Florida, and two of them involved dicks. I mean, it was just it was a bad way. It was a bad way to be.
Of course, it's Florida.
It was. So let me hit up this quick clip right here, and we'll get this next article queued up and be right back with some Cobra Kai talk.
Joe, my name's Roy.
Well, come here, Roy, and get groovy. You been uptown?
No, I ain't been uptown, but I've been around.
You mean to say you ain't been uptown?
No, I ain't been uptown. What's uptown?
Shit on the floor. Time to get swifty in here.
All right, we are over here after we got Swifty on the Mary Sue, over on Cinema Blend, who is not a shining beacon of journalistic integrity and excellence, but it'll serve as a good baseline for a Cobra Kai discussion. Why one big Karate Kid actor may be heading to Cobra Kai. So season 4 is what coming out? I think it was next year. It's 2022. Was it?
Yeah. It dropped January 1st. Yeah.
Oh, is that what? Okay. So it's that early. All right. Is there?
3.
Yeah.
Well, if they can stay on schedule, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, if they can stay on schedule. Yes, what season 4? Yeah.
From what I understand, they had season 3 in the can before YouTube canceled the show, and they were actually ready to start production on season 4 around the time YouTube canceled them. So I know they have everything mapped out for the first seasons.
That's not. I don't think that's correct. Season 3. When was it filmed?
Season 3 was ready to go when YouTube canceled them.
Oh yeah, but it wasn't filmed.
It was produced.
No. It was season 3 was filmed last summer and fall. I'm not trying to. I'm just saying, Tony, because I know a couple of guys that were on it.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, let me check my sources.
I'm just glad it's on Netflix now, so I can find out what happened to Miguel.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like I said, I just watched this whole show a couple weeks ago, like over the course of 2 days. Me and the wife watched all 3 seasons. Yeah, when he fell off that goddamn railing, broke, broke his back, or whatever. I was like, oh God, no, you can't do this. This character, like, I was so invested in that kid and him and Johnny's relationship, and I was
YouTube canceled it.
Yeah, fucking YouTube and all their brilliance had lightning in a bottle, and just ruined it, just completely ruined it.
Really bad decision.
What? Yeah, like what? Why? Like what? Hey, we're gonna get. What was that? What's that one girl's name that's not funny at all that they give money? I can't remember which one is it, but
Amy Schumer.
That's who I was thinking of.
The walking embodiment of Hellman's mayonnaise, Amy Schumer.
Yeah, Amy Schumer. I think you had a picture of her just a moment ago.
Yep.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of them out there, dude. Yeah. Gosh. Yeah, I'll tap my brain. I'll remember a bunch of them real quick. But
yeah, I just want to know how Lily Singh keeps a show and YouTube cancels Cobra Kai. Like, how does Lily Singh keep a show? She's not funny at all, and she tells you she's funny, but then she comes out and she's about as funny as anal warts or severed penises. I mean, it's not funny. It's not funny, Lily. So let me jump a little bit into this article. We'll get a figure out what the character is they're talking about here. It says Cobra Kai has had an impressive streak in its first 3 seasons of pulling characters from the Karate Kid franchise. So it should come as no surprise that streak could continue in season 4 and beyond. It sounds like another major actor from the Karate Kid franchise could be coming soon, as actor Sean Kanan lightly suggested there's a future for his character in the show. Sean Kanan played Mike Barnes in the Karate Kid 3, who terrorized Daniel LaRusso on behalf of John Kreese and Terry Silver. Barnes was one of Daniel's most fearsome and skilled opponents, and according to a recent chat the actor had with Fan Room Live, Barnes could come to Cobra Kai to wreak havoc once more. I've spoken with the producers multiple times, so all I can say is we saw a little clip of Mike Barnes in season 3, and if I had to say, I don't think that we've seen the last of him. We shall see. Sean Kanan was pressed on whether that would mean Mike Barnes would appear in season 4 of Cobra Kai, to which the actor clarified he never said that. With that said, season 3 ended with John Kreese on the phone with an old friend while looking at an old photo from his days in Vietnam. So the popular theory is he was on the phone with Terry Silver. So
yeah,
what?
Yeah,
he was looking at the picture of him and Silver back in Vietnam, I think, when he made that phone call.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that Mike Barnes would be, I think he owns like a part of Cobra Kai. That was part of their deal in the 3rd movie to fight Daniel LaRusso. Like if he won, he'd get 50% of it or something. If he lost, he still got like 25. So I think he owns a part of it. So that would make sense. They bring him in. Plus the other thing is they totally foreshadowed it when Daniel takes Sam, his daughter, back to the All Valley gym. And he's like, here's, like, this is what happened. I faced my greatest fear or whatever. And she's like, yeah, I know you won your championships. He'd be like, no. I faced my fear and I almost lost. I almost wanted to give up. So and that's when you get the flashback. So he's referencing that. So it makes sense that, now that they've opened the door, that he'd come back in the next season and maybe Daniel's going to get a little insecure again,
And it does feel like they're addressing everything in that show. So, I mean, it isn't out of the realm of plausibility.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Culture. You look like you got something on your mind, man.
No. Everybody's surmising properly, I believe. I think.
Yeah, I see the way the show is handled, like the nostalgia factor and bringing in the characters, and I think they've really handled it well thus far. None of it has seemed like ridiculously placed to me. I like the the bike trip that the guys from Cobra Kai went on. They got their one last hurrah. They got their little bar fight, and I mean, it was a nice way to humanize Johnny even more and the characters, and kind of give them all that, like, the one's a preacher now. It gives them all that nice little kind of redemption story, and just says they're not all horrible people. Because of who they were, under their sensei.
Well, I mean, a lot can be said for bringing back the former actors and all the former characters that they played, but they have to be very careful about doing it. Too much of it is, I mean, there's a certain amount of fan service that, works.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
But at a certain point, I mean, you're going to run over the story you're trying to tell with like guest appearances and stuff. It's just, and you don't want the show to turn into like a typical daytime soap or something like that. I want it to remain as pure as it is now, because right now, I mean, they're laughing at intersectional feminism and crap, third wave feminism and all this other garbage.
Yeah.
And it's glorious because it's like the one untainted piece of entertainment that you can rely upon at the moment. So I just don't want them to compromise what they're doing and keep with their vision. And sometimes I feel like you can get lazy when you do cameos with characters like that. Anyway, I know that's not the direction we were going with this article, but that's just my opinion.
No, that's fine, man. I want my green screen. StreamYard has been really pissing me off. For some reason, my green screen just quits working. And I don't know. I can't get it to start back up. Oh well. It hates me. I think. I just think that's what it is. But I don't know. Like I see your point though, and you're basically right about that. You don't want to run over your new characters with just for the sake of having cameos.
Mm-hmm.
When you've used the cameos that you have had so far in a manner that moves the new characters and the plot lines ahead.
Like Chosen.
Yeah, they've been really smart about the way they brought Allie in. Allie served a purpose. She showed not only that Johnny's grown, because he didn't kind of fall back into, he's got a new lady in his life, and so there's all that tension of whether he wants to get back with Allie or pursue his new life and kind of moved on. And you see that he did move on, and she also kind of gets Daniel and Johnny to realize they're not that different from each other. So she served a purpose. Chosen served a purpose by showing him that, hey, there's more to Miyagi-Do than what he taught you. And it's not necessarily bad, and then oh gosh, what's her name? Kimiko? No. Gosh, I can't think of her name now. Kyoko?
Is it Kiko?
No.
It's
Kimiko? Kyoko or
Kimiko? Paulie, what's her name?
I think it's Kimiko.
Kimiko.
Gosh, I can't think of
Kimiko.
it. I think it's Kimiko.
Thank you, Paulie.
So yeah, and she served a anyway. She served a purpose as well, by getting Daniel and Chosen back together. So everything they've done as far as cameos has been really smart, and it's driven the plot along. And that's why I think that the Mike Barnes thing, it would make sense in Terry Silver because of now Kreese owning, getting back Cobra Kai. It makes sense because they're also, I think, legally partners in it. Well, at least Terry Silver definitely is. He was definitely a partner in Cobra Kai, and I think Mike Barnes got a piece of it. So it makes sense to have them come back because they have a financial stake at Cobra Kai. So that's why I think it's okay. They seem to be building this story along, or these characters in a way that suits the arc of the season and the show. Because I was kind of hesitant when I heard Chosen was coming back, oh, how are they going to do this? He's in California. What could they possibly do as a storyline to get Chosen back in where it feels natural? And it makes sense. He's a car dealership. Cars are made in Asia. It all made sense. Where I was like, okay, I buy it. I buy this.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the one girl, the little girl he saved, that was on top.
Yes.
And she was like the president of acquisitions for was it Toyono or Diono?
Diota something.
Is it supposed to be like Toyota?
I think that's what kind of got.
But no, that was nice placement too, right there.
Yeah, that was great too.
They just have to be careful and try not to be too clever. That's all that I hope for. And some of the fight scenes, I think I appreciate. Fight scenes and stuff, but got to be careful about some of that. There's only a certain amount. I mean, I'm willing to stretch a lot for things I like and I enjoy. I'm willing to stretch that suspension of disbelief stuff.
Yeah.
I think Paulie at one point on something I was on or something I was watching, Paulie's very eloquent when it comes to this show. I think he pointed out that some of the fighting was a little hokey. Am I misquoting you?
It was sloppy.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. I mean, and you could tell like Daniel some of the
no, it
spin
is.
kicks
It's
and
not.
stuff is
Yeah,
it's
it
stunt
is.
man. I mean, you can tell that kind of stuff, but you
But
know,
it
I'm
doesn't
okay with
matter.
it
It
though.
really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm willing to let that stuff slide because I like the storyline, the characters. You know, I'm into it enough where it's like, all right, I'm not gonna buy. I don't want to see Ralph Macchio actually trying to do that move. So I'd rather see a stunt guy from behind, you know, where it's a quick cut. But yeah, you're right. Like because I love watching anytime there's like an action movie with martial arts stuff, you know, I really want to look at the choreography because I love seeing like what's realistic, you know, because well, Paulie, I know you do jujitsu and I've done Aikido, Krav Maga, kickboxing. I've done a bunch of stuff as well. And I love watching like the choreography to see like what could be realistic in a way and what's not. But you know, for the Karate Kid, like, yeah, there's a lot that's not realistic about it, but I don't care.
Yeah. You're not going to see the Karate Kid or Cobra Kai for you know, Donnie Yen level,
right,
choreography. Yeah. But it'd be cool. I should get one of my black belts on the show, and he was on my show last night. He's also a big DC nut. I should get him. We could get him on the show, and he can really break down some of the choreography of Cobra Kai. That might be cool.
That would be cool.
You know, I think it would be fun to shoot a short film with you choreographing a fight scene for people. I'm serious. I'm all about this creation thing, dude. I you know me. I want to make things. So I think that would be really cool. You have people you can work with. You have the skills.
Let's talk.
Okay, we'll talk. I'm always talking.
And that's the thing. Like, if I would love to get into that because like I was a pro wrestler for 9 years, so that's basically like just being a stunt man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's
totally.
what it is. It's being a stunt man. So yeah, that would be fun. You know, I was like, man, I could, you know, I could do that now. But yeah, what I want to talk a little bit more with about Paulie, about what your thoughts on the fighting were when we get a little bit deeper into this article because we have 2 articles we're going to cover for Cobra Kai, and I want some more of your thoughts on this, especially
go ahead.
I was going to say especially the brawl at the end of season 3 in the house, because they shot that in one take. They shot that in one take, and yeah, they said that was kind of a tough, and they had to change locations at the last minute. So yeah, we'll talk about that more in a little bit here. It says if Terry Silver and John Kreese are teaming up in season 4, then it only seems right that Mike Barnes' appearance wouldn't be too far off in the future. Sean Kanan talked a little bit more about the possibility of his character appearing and shared some insight on how the executive producers are tackling bringing former talent from the Karate Kid into Cobra Kai. As previously mentioned, reintroducing Terry Silver does not present an organic path for Sean Kanan's Mike Barnes to return, though no guarantees he'll be along for the ride. I should also note that it's not uncommon for Cobra Kai's staff to have discussions with actors or discussions about actors reprising their roles. So there's no guarantee he's on board with anything concrete, any concrete story just yet. I can personally say seeing Barnes back in action would be a treat, though, and I've often wondered how Johnny Lawrence would have handled Barnes back in the day. Cobra Kai season 4 has been confirmed, though we have no idea when it will arrive on Netflix. Do you think Barnes is going to? Okay. So we'll stop right here and we'll just kind of talk about the show for a bit here. Yeah. So what, Paulie, what are your thoughts about? I want to talk to you. Like, we had the brawl at the school, the brawl in the house, the empty, was that like the empty arcade? What was your opinion of like the overall choreography? And like, I mean, what do you think of some of the actors, like the young actors that are playing these roles?
I love the young actors. I think they're great. I think they were actors first, as Sholo said on some of his interviews. Then he learned martial arts, while doing it. So that's a lot. I honestly think that Zabka and Machio and Kreese, like I like their moves, especially in the close quarter ones. Not like when they're against each other, not like when they're like fighting goons in the was it the chop shop?
Yeah, the chop shop. Yep.
Yeah, I think I would give the martial arts choreography like probably like a strong C. And the filming of it, actually, the filming of it is actually better than the actual execution of the choreography. Some of it kind of reminds me of Daredevil, and that is amazing fight choreography and even better filmmaking of it. Some of those long shots that they would do down the halls. So I'm trying to remember some of those episodes, but so yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's more symbolic, especially for Miguel. There's no way that you can come back from that type of injury and walk, much less kick.
Yeah, that's a big heavy suspension.
Quick amount of time too.
Yeah, I mean,
he goes from just being able to kind of get on his feet and walk again to like being in a huge brawl and kicking ass.
And he got thrown back first against that sofa there at one point during that fight. So when that happened, I was like, I kind of like thought, I was like, oh shit, like is he gonna is that gonna tear his back up again? Is he gonna be like out of it after that? I really feel bad for that one, the one big black kid who was he was on Cobra Kai and then he switched over to Miyagi-Do. That dude, like Tori beat his ass. Like that dude just gets his ass whipped like constantly. Him and the curly headed kid that he's always fighting against. Yeah, ass face. Yep, them two. Those two, like they just like and then the two little kids were getting like their heads bonked together at one point. I was like during the house fight, I was waiting for one of them to just wring their necks. I'm like, I'm just like choke them. They're just little,
Yeah.
I think Tori had a pretty good kick when she was hitting against that bag.
Yeah, she like her
I think she's pretty athletic. She seems like she's an athletic girl. Like I buy, I buy it.
Her and the other girl are they have some nice little square offs. I mean, the stunt actors on this show are freaking amazing. Absolutely. But these guys, I think a lot of them are doing some of their own most of their own stuff, aren't they? As far as like not some of the full on like brawling style, but like some of the forms and things, aren't they?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Are a lot of the actors on here are doing a lot of their own stunt work, aren't they? To a certain extent. Anyway.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it looks like it. Just the way it's filmed.
Yeah.
So that says to me that it takes a lot of that's just a lot of rehearsals. Like my buddy, who I'm trying to get an answer from for you, Tony, as far as when season 3 was filmed, he was the muscle guy, Latino guy, in the bar when Johnny was like, don't change that. They put on the sports.
Yeah.
Then two Latino guys end up beating him up, beating his ass in the. I mean, and that's Bobby H. I mean, he's a real fighter, and so but again, it's kind of like you can tell by the precisions of their movements, and it just those certain moves look good on camera. It's that same choreography that's you see on some of the Liam Neeson movies and Jack Reacher, real close quarter choreography, and makes it look really good.
Yep. So not what they're doing on the Equalizer then.
I haven't seen
movie
it.
Equalizer.
Yeah,
the movie. They had some of that. They had really good choreography in that, but
the movie was good. Yeah, the TV show. Hey, Queen Latifah, jump cut.
It's a lot of quick cuts. I mean, I only watched the first episode so far, but it's a lot of quick cuts. Yeah, shaky camera. You can't a lot of zoom in. Like you see like a hand grab a gun, and then it cuts the angle, and then they cut back, and she's got the gun. Because I've rewinded one scene. I'm like, how exactly did she, do a gun disarm in that? And it doesn't. Like the hand switches, it doesn't make sense how she did it. How they showed it, but of course they didn't really show it, so it works.
Yeah, and Denzel with the Book of Eli.
Mm-hmm.
He was trained by Guru Dan and Asanto. And,
nice.
Was it the Filipino Kali?
Yeah.
And Guru Dan was one of Bruce Lee's OG students. That choreography.
I mean, he actually helped him. He helped him with like kind of come up with Jeet Kune Do.
Correct. Yeah. So Denzel, he's a real student.
Yeah.
I don't know about Queen Latifah.
Yeah,
I have a feeling probably not.
Yeah, I'm gonna venture a guess and say probably.
Dude,
not.
that
you
show
see it?
so bad, so bad. Mad Martigan and I committed to watching and reviewing the first 3 episodes, and then there were power outages because it got cold in various parts of the country, and so I watched the second episode. He didn't. And I can tell you that the second episode did not get any better than the first. She's 100% not believable in the role, but she looks painful for her to move. She must have a really bad knee.
Well, I asked Mrs. Slant about that, and she's like, Queen's got a following. That's why they just hired. They just got her for her name.
Yeah. And the problem is if she were an EP and a showrunner for it, totally, that would be just great. Adds that character, she's not believable, unfortunately, because I love her. I mean, I really do. I think she's hilarious. I think she's incredible talent all around. Everything she tries, she's very successful at. Dana Owens was not the right person to cast for that role. So
weird, man.
Yeah, it is. It's really odd. There were other females you could have done that would have totally. I mean, Gina Carano. I mean, there are other African American actresses, if they were trying to purposely go that direction, that could have done that role. So it's just, I find, I get. This is what frustrates me. If you're going after name recognition, she had the fortunate opportunity to have a lead-in from the Super Bowl for a ridiculous audience. That was never going to happen for a regular premiere of that show. Right, because other than being there at that time, there wasn't going to be buzz for this show, right?
Well, I was going to ask you what the ratings are like.
They were very good because the lead in after the Super Bowl, she drew like 14 million eyeballs. It got cut by a third in the second episode to like 4.85 or 5 something, and then 5 million people. I'm just going off people. I'm not going about we can talk about the demo, which she's not hitting the demo they want either. But that's but here's the thing: the show is vastly better than something like Batwoman.
Oh,
right? So
I saw 15 minutes of that.
Batwoman.
I did. I'm here
Why?
to say I'm here to. I wanted to see what was all about because all you guys were, doing reviews and shit on it, and then the Supergirl thing happened. So I want to get a little educated. Yeah. And then I had a nice conversation with Nick McCabe on race swapping. I'm gonna put that up, but I was like, God, and it's so bad, ETEP, that Mrs. Slant heard it in the other room, and she's like, "Turn that shit off."
Dude, no, this is I've tried to get my wife to watch it with me. Like, I'm like, hey, this is, I was messing around with her. I was like, this show's geared at you, honey. I'm like, she's like, she looks at me, she goes, yeah, that, She's like, no. So she sat down, like the premiere with Ruby Rose last year. She watched 10 minutes of it, and she's like, this is trash. She goes, I'm not watching this. And like, she tried to watch a little bit of the first episode of the season with Javicia Leslie, and she's like, this is even worse. She's like, wow. And my wife is not one who says stuff is woke. And she was like, yeah, this is showing the wokeness. Like, already, I'm like, she's always a victim. Ryan's always got to be a victim. It's never her fault.
But everyone is bad. Like the 15 minutes I saw.
Oh,
everyone is bad.
The writing, you can't outact the writing. I'm sorry, Coulter.
Yeah. No, you're right. And that's exactly the point I was going to say. I mean, I don't think it's Javicia's issue.
No,
I really don't.
No,
I think
it's the writing.
She's delivering the material she's given, and it's not. It's just the dialogue just makes you want to run away.
Yeah,
and the audience has, because they're under 500,000 viewers.
Well, I know we're going off topic.
But
I had one more question. How then because the ratings are abysmal, right?
They just hit they're 500,000 viewers.
Under 500,000.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just did that in my video. Actually, it was like 4 something.
Yeah.
But did it get renewed?
it got renewed for a third season because Berlanti Productions prints their own money, I think. They did. They renewed it for a third season. And the ratings, like for the first, 7 to 8 episodes of season 1, they were over 1 million viewers. After the Crisis crossover and they came back for the second half of season 1, the ratings hit the tank, never recovered, but they were still almost double what they are now.
Oh, you really watched this thing?
Yeah, I've watched every episode like 2 or 3 times.
The most recent episode, yeah, Paulie, the most recent episode, yeah, that's the problem with doing a review on a show. You end up having to watch it like 17,000 times.
It hurt.
But the most recent episode slid under 0.1 across the board, share and demo. I mean, it's
hot garbage.
Yeah.
It is.
And here's the thing. I mean, somehow CW managed to garner in 2019, or no, was it 2019 or 2020? 2019, I'm going to say it that way. In 2019, they were able to get advertisement advance revenues of about $619 million for the network, which blows my mind because I'm like, well, what are you buying that you could get all of this media a lot cheaper buying the local media? Like if you're an advertiser and you want to be on a national network, it's cheaper to buy it from the local media guy instead of the national media buy. Even if you're a big brand, I just have my Chevy. If I was working at Chevy, I just have my guy doing that. I just don't understand. What do you think, Paulie? I mean, does that sound like a reasonable thing, or am I just talking out of my hat now?
I mean, if they sold it, then that makes sense. That's why.
I just don't know how they're doing it now because not one of those Berlanti shows actually hits, right? They even started to tail almost immediately with that Walker reboot, and they have this Kung Fu reboot on the tail end of it here. If they, I promised myself I wasn't even going to try to watch it. So when that, so I'm not even going. I can't.
Who's playing the main character in the Kung Fu remake?
I don't remember her name.
Yeah, I'll say it's a female. They gender swapped it. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I don't remember her name. All I know is she leaves town to go train and comes back, and her city's been overrun with crime. Does that sound like Kung Fu to you?
Sounds like what Batwoman was about,
right?
Yeah.
For me, say
the plot of Batwoman. She comes back, and the city's overrun with crime, and she takes all Batman's shit.
He just steals his stuff.
His identity, everything else.
This is mine.
It's like the same story.
You can't have this. It's mine, you bastard.
Yeah, the whole point of Kung Fu was he was a wanderer. You know, he went from town to town, and
in the old
whole point of that show. In the Old West, yeah.
There is no Old West. Well, at least again, based on everything that it came out, and the casting and everything else, and I'm like going, this is not Kung Fu. It's like Equalizer. You took the name of something,
yeah,
and then it's not that. It's the same thing with Walker. Walker's the same thing. They took Walker Texas Ranger, renamed it Walker.
Is he even in Texas?
Yeah,
did they at least keep that?
Yeah. All that part of it's true, but it's again, you end up in these positions where all of these Berlanti product. God, we are way far afield. I'm sorry, ETEP. It's
I know I'm holding back more questions because I'm like, no, this is not our show.
Name only, and all of these shows are talking in hallways, feelings in hallways, feelings around the table. Everything that Gary says that these shows are, that's all these shows are. He's not wrong. I mean, when you talk about the CW stuff, that's what they end up being. That's why the Superman thing was terribly surprising to everyone. I have not seen it yet.
I'm watching it tonight.
Yeah, I
can't wait to watch it next on my playlist.
Oh, you saw it?
I watched it last night. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, non-spoiler.
Non-spoiler. I was pleased with it. Cool. I was pleased with it. I was surprised. I wasn't expecting much because just of the there he is. The direction that CW's been going. I liked Arrow's first few seasons. I liked the Flash first few seasons. Then Flash started going downhill. Arrow started going downhill when he wasn't the main character anymore in his own show. Supergirl, I was okay with season 1 and 2, and then that went downhill. So I wasn't really expecting much because of the direction it was heading, but I thought they did it really well. I mean, it does focus, I'm not going to give spoilers, but it does focus on Clark more so, than Superman. But you do get a Superman. There is a Superman arc that they're building, which I like. I'm interested in, and I thought they handled the kids really well, and they're well suited for the roles. It kind of gave me a modernized, I could see where in the season going forward might have a sort of modernized Smallville appeal about it in a way. It's definitely modernized though. It's it's not going to be as I don't know. I don't want to say cheesy because Smallville is not really cheesy, but some of the episodes can be, could be a little cheesy. I don't think it's going to have that, but it's going to focus on the kids, I think, quite a bit and more of the family lifestyle, but it's not done in a cheesy way. They don't make him out to be like, a super dad, where it's like him using his superpowers to go get donuts in the morning. It's not any of that. I mean, it definitely has more of the heavy burden of him trying to manage being a father and Superman, and I just thought they did it really well. I hope it continues that way, but for a pilot, good, very good. I like him too. I like his Clark. I know, some people are kind of mixed on Tyler. I like him. I like the fact that he's kind of a throwback to sort of the Christopher Reeve style, the old style Superman, where he's, super happy, super nice, the Boy Scout, he's really optimistic, smiling a lot. He's got that kind of demeanor about him, which I love Henry Cavill as Superman, but I don't like how they wrote him. It's not Henry's fault. It's just I'm not crazy about the Snyderverse version of he's kind of dark and more like that mythical godlike creature kind of dilemma, and I'm not crazy about that. I like more of the classic optimistic Superman, and Tyler he does that pretty well, really with his Clark too. All right, that's it. I'm done saying.
No, I was gonna say the issue I have with Tyler playing Superman is they've already made him weaker than Kara. I saw this foretold in the future. Oh shit. No, but really, they've already made him out to be I mean, if you remember that on Supergirl, he was like, oh, you were always stronger than me, blah blah blah. It's they already kind of just made this dude neutered him, I mean,
yeah, I mean,
that's what kills me.
Yeah, in the Supergirl show. Now in the comics, Supergirl is, if I remember right, she is supposed to be kind of stronger than Superman from the comics too. But Superman's more focused on his powers. He's got, he's been able to focus them more, and he's got more control over them. Supergirl's a little wild, but I think she is supposed to be kind of stronger. It's been a while since I've read a Supergirl comic though. But yeah, it did kind of bother me that he kind of bent the knee down to her.
They just made him ineffectual. I'm like,
yeah, that's why
man.
I hope they don't really have Supergirl in this at all, so you can just kind of focus on Superman.
Let him stand of his own volition.
Yeah,
I mean,
he doesn't have a team around him, which is good. Supergirl had the whole team.
Yeah,
Superman's it's just him. He's just by himself, which as it should be. He doesn't need a team.
No, he's Superman.
Yeah, he's Superman. So, but anyway.
So Paulie's got to take off. Paulie, go ahead, brother. Plug your channel, man, on the way out.
Oh yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for the invite, and good to see everybody. We have a show tomorrow night, Deadwood Watch Party. We're starting off episode 1, season 1. So that's every Thursday. Saturdays, movies to lose your friends by, Dungeons and Dragons, and The Last Airbender. Oh my God. And I'm always putting out content every day, whether it's a minute or 12 minutes or an hour. The Latino Slant. There you go. Thanks a lot, guys.
Hey, thanks for coming on, brother. Have a great night, Paulie.
Have a good night.
Nice talking to you, Paulie.
See you, Paulie.
All right, you too. Peace, guys.
Have a good night.
All right. So we'll get off the Berlanti shows because I could rant about those for a while, because I was a fan of The Flash up until what season, I think 4.
I think 4 is when it started.
It got bad. It got really bad. I mean, there's still been some decent episodes, and I kind of like oh God, what's the gal's name that plays Iris?
Oh, I like her.
Yeah, I don't hate
Candace.
Oh, it's not Candace Owens.
No,
Candace Park. Not Candace. Is it Candace Parker? I don't know, but I like her, isn't and I know it's a race. See, that's like Candace Patton. Yep, that's what it is.
Patton, yeah.
The race swap didn't bother me. I was like, it didn't matter because to me, I'm looking at it like it's an adopted family, I guess. It didn't.
No, it didn't bother me. I'd never.
Yeah,
had an issue with
and
that
I never
really.
thought of it like I never.
Well,
Really
they didn't make it a big deal.
No.
That's part of it too. They never made it a big deal that they were black and Barry was white and there was all that. It was just they were black. That was it. Just so it didn't matter. Like
it happened
organically.
organically.
It was fine. It happened organically. Yeah, he never thought twice about it.
And that's the beauty of it. Now there's a comedy like bit they do like the parody theme songs, and they did one of the Flash, and like I just remember the chorus is like the song's like it's like don't sleep with your sister. It's okay because they're both it's like they're stepbrothers. I was like, or he's their stepbrother. They like made some. The song is funny as hell. Like, I'll find a link to it and I'll send it to you guys in the chat. It's funny. It's been out for a while. You've probably seen it. I mean, it's been out for a couple of years, but my kid found it one day. I was like, holy shit, this is funny. But here I am talking about CW now.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, it's a funny ass song. So Cobra Kai season 4 needs to address Daniel being a bad husband. I didn't really think Daniel was a bad husband. I mean, I thought he was a little bit like distracted at times, but I thought his wife was kind of a nag at times too. So I thought it balanced out.
Yeah, I thought so too. He got a little caught up, I guess, in the old rivalry, but I don't think it necessarily he did anything that would really insinuate he was a bad husband.
Yeah.
First thing I would like to say is Screen Rant, you can fuck right off. And the discussing film, you can also fuck right off. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, so it says Daniel went to Okinawa in Cobra Kai season 3 and met up with his ex-girlfriend Kumiko without being clear about it with his wife Amanda.
Well, he didn't go to meet up with her. It wasn't like he was having an illicit affair. He just happened to run into her, and they did nothing improper.
No.
Nothing happened. They just caught up as friends and
Yep. And then she hooked him up with the little girl that he saved, who ended up saving their car dealership. So
yeah,
if anything, she should kind of be thanking him.
Yeah, and with Chosen, who taught him that move that he used on Kreese. So could have been dead. Kreese might have killed him had he not known that move.
But his wife probably has a nice hefty insurance policy on him, I'm sure.
Oh, maybe. Maybe.
I'm sure she does. She does.
Yeah, this is just like another article, saying like, oh, it's the white male husband and father figure has to be ridiculed and diminished and punished.
Torn down.
Yeah, torn down. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely say like, all right, yeah, he's getting a little too involved in his old rivalry, and
yeah.
But I mean, that's fine. But that's just human. That's like a human flaw. That doesn't.
Yep.
There's nothing about that says he's a bad husband.
No.
And especially if they're gonna make Kumiko as the reason, I would say, look, he did the honorable thing. Nothing happened between them. That was it.
Yep. And that was the thing too. She was very Kumiko was very respectful, and she never once insinuated that there was going to be anything improper that would happen, at all. I never got that vibe.
No, I mean, they had that one moment at the bar where they both went for their glass and their hands touched, and they kind of just looked at each other and chuckled. It was kind of like and that was it, and then Chosen came in. That was it. That was the extent of anything that would make you think that, something's going on here. I never got that feeling.
And look at how easily he introduced Allie to his wife.
Yeah, that too, right? Yeah.
And so that to me doesn't reek of the insecurity level that would come with somebody who's got something to hide. You know what I mean? He was not hiding. He didn't, like I said, he's not hiding anything. Like I said, as far as a bad husband goes, this is just another, as we say, a hit piece. It doesn't make any sense saying he's a bad husband. Tony,
she's kind of a bad wife.
Yeah, like I said, man, she's kind of a nag.
Like we were talking the other day, it's like she pushes him to get back into karate, and it shows her with her stupid smile when he finally does get in his gi and starts doing the Miyagi-Do. And Then as soon as like he takes it serious, she becomes a shrew. Like a total stick in the mud. Like, geez.
See? That's what happens, man. That's what happens. He she liked the ride, like getting there, getting the road up to being successful, but when they're successful, it's like then she's like, no, we're gonna do it this way. And he's like, no, look, I got this.
And the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, because if it wasn't for Sam, none of this would be going on anyway. But the daughter, she's caused all this drama. Like, she was in the vehicle when they hit Johnny's car first off, and then lied about it, and from there gets drunk, stays the night as soon as Johnny and Daniel become friends. She gets drunk to prove a point, goes and makes out with her ex-boyfriend in front of his current girlfriend. I mean, like, all of this is because of her.
Oh yeah, Sam's to blame for this for sure.
The first time she ever met Tori, she accused her of being a thief.
Yeah.
Without any other than she took a bottle of booze. So she automatically thinks she's going to step right up to stealing wallets. Like, I mean, Jesus. Like, that's
judgmental.
Yeah, very judgmental. That's the thing. It's like, and and she was mean to Aisha. I mean, her and the other Moon,
ignoring her.
Moon and Yaz, they were all mean to Aisha. They started that pig thing, and she went along with that just to be one of the cool kids.
Her conscience is knocking, but it's her actions that are, that's what counts. It's like, okay, you feel bad, but then you go and do this.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep. That goes along with the Samantha's a heel. She's kind of a heel in the show, not intentionally, but she's unintentionally a heel. That little
3 boyfriends in 10 episodes.
And that Cal guy was, you could tell, or was his name Cal, the first dude?
Kyler.
Yeah.
Kyler, whatever. He was a douche, like right from the word go. I'm like, first of all, you're rocking a flock of seagulls looking dude, bro. I'm like, come on, man. Like, and then just the way he acts, I'm like, she can't tell. He's like, this is all a facade. This is an act. Like, come on, bro.
I love when he's serving the sushimi and he's all talking about like, the culture and everything. He's like, where are you from, Kyler? Bakersfield.
Yeah.
Well, where are your parents?
I like that they brought him back in as like a Cobra Kai now. It suits his, like, it's perfect for him. Because I like that kid, like his look and everything.
Yeah.
They just cast him well. Like, oh, this kid plays that role so freaking good.
He does.
He's so good at it.
Yeah, the character's like a total douche. Like,
he is. He plays like he's the nice guy, but he's not. But he's a total douche.
I know.
Yeah, he nails it.
Oh, he does.
He's perfect for Cobra Kai.
Yep. And that's crazy seeing the evolution of the Cobra Kai dojo again during the show now, just the course of the 3 seasons.
Yeah, because now it's like starting to look like the Cobra Kai that was from the 80s. The Johnny version of Cobra Kai, and Bobby and Tommy and Dutch. It's like that kind of.
Yep.
Like where it's like the badass kids, because at first it was like the the dorks, the nerds, who then became, or some of them became good at what they were doing. But you don't look at them and think, oh, that's the Cobra Kai I grew up with, which made the show interesting. But now that you've got the switch, you've got Kreese taking over, and you've got kind of like the bad boys now again.
Yep. And I have to say, I was so happy to see Hawk do the face turn. Because I was like, he's almost to the point. He's getting to the point where it's like, will they be able to redeem this character? And the answer was a resounding yes. And it was nice to see him. And he kind of helps Dimitri. He's doesn't break his arm a second time. And
dude, I love that scene though where he broke his arm.
Oh yeah,
I was like, oh man, that's
great.
He turned a corner there.
I like when Kyler and the fucking fat bully first joined, they kept calling him Lip, and they ain't been around for the past few months to see his evolution.
Oh, that was wicked.
Yeah, and he beat the shit out of that kid and then spit on him.
Yep. I did. I was like cheering when me and the wife were watching. I was cheering. I was like, "Fuck him up!"
Fucking dominated that motherfucker.
Yep.
Kreese is like about to say finish him, and he stopped. He doesn't even have to say it because Hawk's just punching the crap out of him.
Yeah, dude, that guy got his because he whooped. It was an ass face. He beats him up. The Kyler guy did, and then the chubby dude gets in there with Hawk and just gets annihilated. That was greatness.
Yeah.
That was great.
It showed like Hawk was like establishing his dominance. His top dog. He's like, no one's coming in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyler's face.
Yeah. He shows Kyler like backs down. He's like, all right, man, sorry. I didn't realize you were that freaking nuts.
And I would be remiss if I didn't bring up Shellback's comment. He said, "Yeah, Dimitri making out with Yasmin at school." Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. It's like because she was like the most popular girl in school when the show started, and one front wedgie for Maisha, and she was like just down the popularity ladder.
Yeah. I like their relationship too has built. You knew that was coming.
Yep.
Kind of like that flirtingness where they're making fun of each other, but yet there's something there, and it was just slowly building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that this show is definitely like done its job as far as like entertainment goes, and like watchability, and then rewatchability too. I think it's got a high rewatchability factor to it.
Oh yeah, I've rewatched. Yeah, it's just fun.
It is
well constructed show. It's just fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the style. Like I said, I like the like what are they 32 minute episodes, whatever. I like that. It's like boom, because like I said, I watched the whole show in like 2 days. It was,
you can get through it pretty quick.
Yep. And it's
it's just long enough.
Yeah, you don't get burned out on it even after you watch like 4 or 5 episodes, maybe 6, 8. I don't know. You a whole season, you don't get burned out. You don't get burned out really, because the pacing is good as far as it's just the way I look at it anyway.
Yeah, the pacing is good.
It does. It's well. What do you think, Culture?
I like it. I mean, I like the pacing. I mean, you guys have hit on everything. I mean, I feel like we kind of chewed this up already. The show in general. I mean, it's hard not to love, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've done a good job. If this thing doesn't go 5, 6, 7 seasons, I'd be surprised. You know. And I like how they treat Johnny Lawrence. I think the way they lay out his character. I think he's the most compelling story in the show, and I think it's written that way on purpose. And his adversity, especially at the end of the previous season, was amazing. Just dropping his shit, and leaving all of his shit. I mean, he left everything. He just walked away from his shit. It was amazing.
Yeah, his car, through his phone.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the show is powerful. It's well written, and I mean, this is the kind of entertainment we want. It's the stuff we've been talking about for so very long. So, Netflix would be foolish to let this go. This thing not only hit when the latest season dropped, it stayed up and was beating out Bridgerton for a long time, and then Bridgerton kind of finally overtook it, and then Cobra Kai came back and went up over top of them as far as the total viewing. So,
wow, that's great.
Yeah, and of course, then it slid back, but for the longest period of time. And again, so Netflix is a weird animal. They have a weird way of tracking how views influence how they make decisions on shows, and they have shows that are like a slow burn, right? And those slow burn shows usually don't hit their apex right away, and that's why sometimes you don't hear about a third season for a show. Like right away with Netflix, or sometimes even a second season, because they haven't seen what the ramp they were expecting, because it gets this slow word of mouth. There's other shows like that on other platforms, like Marvelous Miss Maisel. That thing didn't take off right away. It had a slow ramp, and then it spiked. And that's with Cobra Kai, they had the gas was just full cranked up the whole time, and it stayed. Like I said, I mean, if they're weighing on that, I think season 4, season 5, season 6, That I think those are real possibilities based on how they look at it. Now, their new model, and this is inside baseball stuff for Netflix, is they're doing a 3-season run on almost all shows.
Mm-hmm.
So they look at a show for 2 seasons and they might get a 3rd season. So that's why, for example, the original Narcos was 2 seasons, and then they went to Narcos Mexico, which could end up being 3 seasons. And Diego Luna is a very good character, obviously a great actor. The same thing with everybody on the show. You have great acting on the show. You have experienced veterans that are film performers. You have great writing. You have a deep reverence for the material that they're working from. So it's, I don't know. I can't say enough good things about the show that you guys haven't already said. So, and I feel like we're being redundant at that point. So
Culture, you said
yeah, go ahead.
You said that they look at like a three seasons, to kind of decide.
That's kind of their model. No, their model is that they don't decide there. They're deciding on whether or not to give something a 3rd season, because most things will earn a second. A lot of times,
right. What I mean is,
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, so what I was meaning is, because they acquired it after its 2nd season, will they like look at that as the first 2 seasons and this is the 3rd, or are they taking it from this is the 1st season that they've owned? Because it's kind of different, right?
Yeah, now we're in a mystery world. They didn't bear production costs in the first 2 seasons. They got it at a discount. There's a lot of factors that go into that. So I think they'll probably look at it for a longer run. I mean, look at what they did with Stranger Things. Stranger Things is rare. Yeah. Even though that was their own property, but when you look at that, they have an evolving model. They always have. But I think right now, based on what they're doing and what they've said, somewhat candidly, actually, they're really looking at shows that go 3 seasons. So if you're a showrunner or whatever, you're going to write to that end. I mean, your outline's going to have like 3 seasons worth of shows in it when you walk in the room, but you need to be considering that you might be lucky enough to get 5 or 6 or whatever. And like I said, I mean, I expect season 4, 5, and 6. I really do, and it wouldn't surprise me if it went that long. It really wouldn't. And if they've already got the arc planned out and they've shared that with the co-presidents of Netflix who are directly involved with this show in a really weird way, they may get 6 seasons. We'll see. I mean, I know there's articles out there saying that.
I've seen that they've said that they have another 3 seasons at least planned out, but they also have an out for season 4 if they don't get renewed again. But
ETEP pulled it up. Yeah. So
there you go. Yeah.
Tony just sent this to me.
Oh, cool. Tony,
right here. So Machio says Cobra Kai series planned through season 6. This was from December 29th of 2020. But yeah, this goes along with what you were saying. Cobra Kai is set to kick off its 3rd season a week earlier than expected on January 1st, 2021. But where's the series headed beyond that point? Machio, who plays Daniel LaRusso on the show, has revealed the creators have planned the sequel series through at least season 6. Not only is Cobra Kai mapped out through season 6, according to his talk with Lad Bible, or is that LA? Yeah, Lad Bible. But Machio also says that both he and William Zabka are on board for the duration.
Yeah.
So that's
awesome.
That's good news,
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, they were already, I'm looking forward to it. I think this show could be a long runner for Netflix, which is a rare occurrence for them. Like I was kind of saying, they'd be foolish to cut it off early. Man, you ride that wind as long as you've got it. If you're flying a glider, you look for the thermals. So this thing's nothing but hot. So sit on it.
Keep their noses out of it, though. Let Josh Hield, Hurwitz, Schlossberg, let them do their thing.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. You're right, Tony. 100%. I agree with you. Yeah, and here's the thing, man. Zabka's an unsung guy. I'm so glad he finally is getting his due. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah.
He was the hero of the first movie to me, always.
Oh, he was the good. Yeah, Daniel was always the bully in my eyes.
Oh God, not this again.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
instigator, not bully, but instigator.
Yep.
Really?
Team Lawrence all the way.
Team Lawrence.
All about perception.
Yep. That's like
One
it's like
for-
the paradigm between Rick and Negan in The Walking Dead. Is Negan really the villain, or did some guy just show up and randomly start murdering all his people? You know?
I think I think you're both deeply disturbed individuals.
Well, that could be too. I mean, I'm not
So
gonna
agree to
deny it.
disagree then.
Yeah.
If somebody came up and started randomly killing the Avengers, would Captain America beat their brains into liquid with a baseball bat?
He doesn't actually have a baseball bat.
He'd use his shield.
Yeah.
Do you know how many random Hydra like agents, like guys he's killed? Like,
Faceless
like
zombies and
yeah, dude. Like, look at the beginning. I just watched Winter Soldier yesterday. The very first sequence of that movie, when he's hitting those guys with his shield, he's not just knocking them out. He is like, just like howitzer firing that goddamn shield at those dudes like chest, and like that's, I guarantee you, that's like collapsing their chest cavities and like stopping their hearts and shit.
Yeah,
Like,
think of the kind of power he has behind him too.
yeah,
throwing
they
that.
ain't coming back from that.
the Chitauri genocide.
The Great Chitauri Genocide of 2012.
Nameless, faceless many.
Yep. See?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it does, you know, he's a killing machine, man, and nobody talks about it. It's like Captain America's, you know, he's the villain. He's killed so many people. He didn't even have to go to Hail Hydra. He just, like regular Cap, just is responsible for so many deaths. I mean, we could put Lagos on him.
Yeah, you know what? If they pursue that path with Cap, but you know what, guys, I'm just going to tell you. I already said I told you so in other places, but you guys are not going to dig Winter Soldier and Falcon, or Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I've seen you say that. Yeah,
I saw an article about
I've been saying it. I've been saying it for months now. Nobody was listening to me. Now you guys might listen to me.
They're gonna lean into to the white supremacist stuff and in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Is that kind of what it's going to be like with U.S. Agent?
You're just, I mean, there was a long ranting conversation about the Bureau of Land Management as part of one of the most recent articles.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm picking up what you're laying down.
Yeah, and I heard they're going to explore like how they experimented on Bureau of Land Management soldiers before giving the serum to Captain.
It's going to be something that honestly, this is a great way to launch the MCU.
Did you guys hear about Stone Loki was talking this morning on Mornings in Mischief about how I think he was saying the Loki series, how he's only actually in like one episode or for so long, and then there's going to be like a female.
Yeah.
I was working, so yeah. You guys have heard something about that?
No, I haven't.
I did a video on that a long time ago about them switching because it was part of the comics. There's like Kid Loki, there's female Loki.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know they were doing that with the live action show though.
Yeah, I didn't know Hiddleston was only going to be in like supposedly one episode though. I thought it was going to be mostly him.
I think that's what he was saying, but you know, again, I was working and listening, so I might have missed some of the context there. But
Wokey, Mark,
fantastic. What's up, man?
It's it kind of goes in line with the Thor now that Jane Austen's taken over. Jane Austen? That's not right. Yeah, no, not Austen. Is it Jane Austen?
It's Jane Foster. Jane Foster.
Jane Foster. Yeah, Jane Austen's the
isn't that the
novelist, right, or poet? Right?
I think so.
I think Jane Austen. Yeah, Jane Foster. Yeah, she now that she's taken over Thor's role, I guess you got to have a female Loki now.
Poet.
Jane. I know Jane. I can't think of it.
She's a novelist, dude.
Novelist. What's that novelist first? And then I corrected myself incorrectly and said poet.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna go sit down now.
Owen Wilson's in the MCU. He's going to be in Loki.
Owen Wilson was supposed. Remember, there was rumors about him playing Kang at first. I was like, great, that's all we need is Kang coming back from like the 35th century, going, wow. Look, here I am. Wow. And that's the thing is like it's sad. I want to touch back on that Falcon and Winter Soldier because I was excited for that show. I was like, this could be cool. I like Sebastian Stan, but I like him as heel Bucky. As heel Winter Soldier. It was more interesting.
Intense.
Yeah, he was very that's my favorite MCU movie is Falcon and the Winter Soldier because you could take all the Marvel stamps off of it and it's just a kick-ass espionage movie. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, I got one more article I want to cover here. And this is about Spider-Man.
Just real quickly, before we moved on, because I wanted to answer that question.
Yes.
Owen Wilson is playing Mobius. Mobius is essentially the executive director of the TVA, the time variance, folks. So he's kind of an important character in the story.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway. Sorry.
No, thank you.
It's kind of who Loki finds himself in conflict with, or in trouble with, in the comics. I don't know how close they're going to. Anyway, there you are.
Thank you for that, sir. Let's see. The next Spider-Man movie will be titled Spider-Man: No Way Home. It's coming out December 17th. 2021. God, please let it be.
Is this is it a running joke that they have to have home in every one of the titles for Spider-Man?
Yes.
Far From Home, Homecoming, No Way Home.
These have been
Homesick.
so disappointing.
Every
one of them.
Home for Sale.
Home for Sale. Spider-Man Realty Homes for Sale. The next Spider-Man movie starring Tom Holland will be titled Spider-Man: No Way Home. The movie will be in theaters December 17th, 2021.
What about the Eternals?
Oh Jesus! Does anybody wait? The Eternals isn't
November.
Yeah, that's November. Yeah, but
Are they gonna really do back-to-back movies like that?
I don't know. Is the Eternals still coming out in November?
I thought it.
So this is coming out this year, the end of this year.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I thought this was next year. Wow.
Well, is this more of a Sony?
November 5th, 2021.
No, this would still be MCU.
It's MCU. It's MCU.
Yeah.
Okay.
November 5th.
Okay, so that's coming out November 5th. Then we've got Black Widow still supposedly coming out in what, May? Is it May or March? I don't know.
No clue.
I
8
can't
months
remember.
ago.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, literally, it should have come out 10 years ago. That would have been the right time for the movie.
Yep, like right after probably Age of Ultron, maybe.
Yeah.
Right after that should have been Black Widow. Holland and co-stars Zendaya and Jacob Batalon teased fans on Tuesday by posting separate joke titles for the movie on Instagram. Holland's Spider-Man Phone Home, Zendaya's Spider-Man Home Slice, and Batalon's Spider-Man Home Wrecker. That's probably the best one. While the jokes may have been frustrating, the different titles may also be hinting at the rumors that the movie will take place in some kind of Spider-Man live-action film multiverse. There have been reports that a few fan-favorite characters from past movies are coming back. Lending further credence to the multiverse rumors, Alfred Molina will reprise his role as Dr. Octopus from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, for example, and Jamie Foxx will be back as Electro. Benedict Cumberbatch, who plays time-bending and multiverse-seeing superhero Doctor Strange, is set to appear in the movie as well. So it just says in a recently published Esquire interview, Holland denied that Maguire and Garfield would be appearing in the new movie, but we just don't know if it's a clever ruse to hide what would be two mind-melting cameos. So that's the article right there from The Verge. So December 17th, 2021 is the date for this next one. I think it can't get any worse than Far From Home, can it?
I actually didn't mind Far From Home.
I hated that one. I
I didn't
did.
mind it.
I felt bad. I hated it. Like it was nothing landed in that movie for me. What's up, Runner? Nothing landed.
What's up, Runner?
At least Homecoming had Michael Keaton. Had the Vulture.
Yeah.
He chewed up every scene he was in that, and in the best way. He made that movie. Made Vulture intense as hell. But I don't dislike Gyllenhaal's Mysterio, although I'm not as big of a Mysterio fan.
I thought they did it. They handled it pretty well.
They did a good job with it. No, I would say they did a good job with it.
I like the scene where he's hallucinating and he's falling through the buildings, and it had a really. I thought that was a really well done sequence.
I didn't like how Peter gave him the glasses 10 minutes after meeting him, and like here's everything.
Yeah.
Like they just made him so stupid, and he's still like dependent on Iron Man, even after Iron Man's gone. It's just like it's ridiculous.
That's the whole
It's
problem.
ridiculous to me.
Yeah. I mean, I agree there.
Can
he
I
needs to stand on his own.
Can I tell you a small story?
Yeah.
So, into WandaVision, I'm rewatching. I'm trying to, pick up any clues, anything at all, So I go to watch Spider-Man Far From Home yesterday, and my wife is a huge Spider-Man buff. Like, she'll watch Amazing Spider-Man, whatever. She likes Spider-Man. She asked me to turn off Far From Home. She's like, I just can't do this movie. So that's where we're at with that movie.
Yeah, I watched it. I went to the theater opening night, and I was there with like my best friend, and we're sitting there, and I'm like, holy shit, dude. He's like, what? I'm like, this is bad. I'm like, he's like, no, I'm like, yeah, it is, dude. I'm like, this is bad. I'm like, that. I know it's subjective, but I'm like, I was like, this hurts my brain, and I'm really stoned. I'm like, it does. It hurts.
He does need to stand off on his own, though, for sure. He needs to become, the Toby, Toby and Andrew, I guess they both had their Spider-Mans were reliant on their own abilities, their own tech, and you never really got to see that with. Although I guess he does, because you get the flashback scene in Civil War, or not the flashback, that like the surveillance camera scene that Tony shows him, and you do see him have web slingers, so he was able to make him, but you never get the idea that he was able to do that. You never see him do any of that stuff without Tony's suit and Tony's tech. And now we're 2 movies in, you still haven't really seen him. Like he makes his new suit or whatever, but it's still using Tony's tech, in the plane.
And that does a disservice to the character.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Culture.
I know you wanted to say something.
Yeah, go ahead, Culture.
I don't even remember. You guys were talking about Vulture, and I was going to say that was an excellent performance by Keaton.
Yeah.
I was also going to say that I liked. Wrinkleface as Goblin. Green Goblin.
Defoe?
Defoe, yeah, I thought Defoe was a good Green Goblin.
Yeah.
The problem is I like the villains more than I like Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
Yeah. Well, especially Alfred Molina with him coming back, he's like the quintessential.
He was great as Doc Ock.
Yeah. Toby is the best Spider-Man.
Yes.
And not just because of the time era and the fact that I actually, was seeing movies in theaters still back then. But he's just better all around. I mean, he portrays the characters each way. I've had arguments with like hardcore comic book buffs about this, but Toby is the best. There's just, it is what it is.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 is still my favorite of all the movies.
Oh, absolutely.
We need to get back to that kind of nomenclature because all these really bad home bullshit things are really driving me crazy. But typical Sony, and that the production's run by that chick that got booted out of Sony. So what do you expect?
Yep, that's Amy Pascal.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
For me, she will always be that chick who wrote a bunch of dumb emails.
Oh yeah, that was 2014 that all those popped out of there. or 2014, wasn't it, or something like that? I don't know. I can't remember. Something along those lines.
You know what?
The Sony hack. Go ahead,
Sorry.
Tony.
No, I was just gonna, because a lot of people, what's his name? Kevin Conroy, the Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah,
the voice.
Yep.
So a lot of people say that's their favorite Batman. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that my favorite Spider-Man is Christopher Daniel Barnes from the '90s series.
Well, yeah, he did a great. I mean, that's a great version of Spider-Man as well.
Yeah, because that's what got me into like Marvel comics and into Spider-Man originally. Was that
I still watch that cartoon.
Yeah,
I'll throw that on every now and then. It's great. Still is.
You guys are uncultured. It's okay.
I watched the Spider-Man cartoons from like 1980, like the
with his friends.
Well, there's two running at the same time. There was like the Spider-Man animated series. It was like a solo series.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then there was Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends.
It was like Iceman and who else was there? It was Spidey, Iceman, and who was the girl? It wasn't Spider Woman.
No, it wasn't Spider Woman. That one.
I can't think of who it was.
I just, like I said, I just watched one. He's over in Latveria fighting Doctor Doom right now. In that little episode, there's a couple little episode arc. He's over there. Those are always fun. Spidey takes a trip to Latveria. I saw Nano Reaper. I want to highlight. He said the Wolf Spider from CW's Batwoman is better than the MCU Spider-Man, and that last episode of Batwoman, and the Wolf Spider wears a dress. Like that dude is like bedazzled out. He is he's super fabulous. If you
Spider,
the Wolf. Oh yeah, the Wolf Spider. He was super fabulous, and he was wearing dresses, and and he was like they kind of shat on their own pronouns too. Like they as Az would say, they took the piss out of him. I think is that how it goes. Yeah. Well, because he was like fucking Javici Leslie's character Ryan shows up at this super secret criminal art show where this Jack Napier painting is supposed to be displayed that they have to get a sample of or steal, and the little gay guy that working the front gate is the one who's secretly the Wolf Spider, and he was talking about how Kate Kane helped him have the courage to come out and be stunning and brave, which I don't care. There's nothing wrong with being gay, but it's the way they presented it here, and because then they're like, pronouns are supposed to be important, right? That's supposed to be an important thing. Well, she says to him, she goes, and just so we're being clear, she goes, what pronouns do you use? And he was like, well, he, him, but he goes, I like to keep it fun. Sometimes they, them. It's like, so you're just kind of like joking around.
So they're even showing it's not important. They don't even.
Exactly.
It doesn't really matter. It's whatever you feel like that day.
Yep. Hail, rookie critic, sir. How you doing,
rookie
brother?
critic. Did Jack Napier's in the show?
No, it's just his quote artwork. They have. I hope they don't.
They're crapping all over generations of
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, and they aren't sticking to one timeline or story or anything. They're just whatever. Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, they don't even. Again, all of these shows, these Berlanti shows, care nothing for the characters themselves. They're just a vehicle, platform to tell their version of stories that they think are, as ETEP said, stunning and brave. So
yeah, like I said, man, I was like, I don't know, like if the Wolf Spider has like a big presence in DC. Like I've never heard of the character before.
No, I haven't either.
I was like, so is this one they just made up? Because I know they've taken some from the books and obviously put their own Berlanti spin on it, which I've been watching for. Oh God, why are you doing that, Culture? Stop it! You stop that! You stop that! Stop it! But no, they put their spin on it, and it's just like it's just a garbage take on these characters. Oh yeah, they but then like I said, if you look at every villain on the show, basically it's like he's kind of like a white guy. Every villain, like even this last episode. So the wolf spider is outrunning a crow's SUV, and they kind of like hip check him with it and knock him out on a runway. All right. At this the super secret criminal underworld art show that everybody knew about. So he's down, and then the two crows jump out of the SUV, and it's like a black guy and a white guy, and the black guy's like, we should call medevac, and the white guy's like, nah, they get the artwork they think they need, and he's like, yeah, somebody else will clean it up, and he just like, fuck it, we'll leave. And then Mary, Batwoman's stepsister, calls it she said he got hit by a 4-ton hunk of toxic masculinity or something. It was just I took the time to like just note out that line of dialogue in my fucking review. I was like, it was so cringy. It was so
I applaud you for sticking with the show and watching that whole show. I would be able to do it.
I made that promise in 2019 when I reviewed the very first trailer. I said, I will review this trailer, but henceforth, I said I will review every episode of this show until it's canceled, because I said I'm not just gonna rip on something and not watch it. So,
your convictions are strong.
So here I am, being mentally abused by Batwoman.
Yeah, that's a line like that.
Oh, it hurts.
Oh, man.
It hurts. Yeah.
Wow. Quality writing.
Well, Caroline Dries. She's a talented lady. That's all I'll say. She's a talented lady. Tony, what's up, man? What you gonna say, brother?
I wish I could get paid to write bullshit.
I know.
If you gave me a Batwoman show, it'd be fire. It'd be fire. Like,
well, dude, I would have a badass Batwoman. I mean, it would be indistinguishable from her male counterpart.
Yep.
And I wouldn't get a 125-pound woman to play this character. I would get somebody who had actually spent a year training, how to fight in KFM or some similar form of martial arts, maybe jiu-jitsu, or maybe both KFM and ninjutsu. And that way it would look more like a modern Batman. I mean, you would have a mix of what Nolan's Batman fighting style was, and a little bit more of what you've seen in other Batman. But here's the thing: Batman knows 127 martial arts. Okay, he trained in 127 different martial arts, and he's a very skilled fighter. But you know what he does first? Detective work.
Yep.
Detective comics. I mean, come on, guys. Batman is the embodiment of the namesake, and they haven't utilized that for a very long time. I mean, to a small extent, Nolan went into that, right? But they bring in weird characters that have very small presences, like Wolf Spider, you guys were just mentioning, which was mid 2010s. I think is when Wolf Spider was introduced, back when I quit reading comics. So, it's man, there's so much garbage in these shows nowadays. And, I just don't want that to pollute the moviescape. I mean, there are only a couple of characters from the CW that I would be okay with them introducing into the broader conversation in the film universe and the DC EU, right? But maybe Grant Gustin's Flash, right?
Yes.
First season and a half of that show did not suck balls. And Arrow was okay for 2 seasons, but then he got pansified in season. I don't know. And then Supergirl got canceled for a reason off of a major network and made its way over to Berlanti garbage. It's just those characters should not be allowed to play in the real world. So, the fact that they're relegated to a network that doesn't, matter, I guess, is okay. And I feel bad for you for watching the show, ETEP. And I didn't mean that I didn't mean to take it that far off course, but I'm just telling you, if you're going to make Batman or Batwoman, you want the female embodiment of the character. The advantage for Batwoman is there's some feminine wiles and things that you could take advantage of in the character. It pisses me off.
And that's the thing with, you've got like Javicia Leslie she's gorgeous. She's a beautiful woman.
Really hot.
And I don't think she's a bad actress. Like I said, it's difficult to outact horrible writing. The one person on the show that does it consistently is the other one that I've kind of taken by Rachel Scarston as Alice, because she chews the scenery.
She actually acts.
Yeah. I dig her performance as Alice. She's been one of the only. I mean, there's some lines that she has that are like, oh my god, like it's just it's terrible. But
she can't beat the writing. We said it.
Yeah, yep. It's not her fault.
Yeah, can't beat the writing.
Yep,
What are you
not
gonna
her
do?
fault. Yeah. Well, I think that's probably a good place to probably get ready to take it home here. I want to give away some stuff, man. I got two left, 2 place to be reviews. Original stickers made by one of my former colleagues here. We've got one's black, and let me see if I can blow this up. I can do this. The lights reflect off it, but what we got, this one's black. It's got some sparkles, and it's got this one's silver. So I guess right now, tweet me some memes, I guess. And Friday night we'll give away the stickers. We'll give away 2 stickers of the 2 best memes. That is let me put the Twitter handle up here on the screen. And we'll do that while we're signing off. It's at the place to be RE1. You can tweet me your memes there, and the best meme will best 2 memes will be determined by myself and Tony Tone Deaf. You'll get a sticker. I just mailed out tonight, Gaming Vulture. If you happen to watch this, I mailed out your trading card and your sticker. I said I'd get out a couple weeks ago. I got it out. It's out in the mail today. I sent him a picture of it. I old school because I didn't know how to contact him. I emailed it to him like a boomer. So there's that. Let me stop. God bless America. See, here it is right here. There's the boomer coming out in me there. All right, let me go around, and we'll start with my co-host Tony Tone Deaf. Go ahead and tell the folks what you got going on, brother.
So if you missed it, yesterday we had a very special live stream. We discussed and went in depth on a topic that I don't feel like it's really being discussed here on YouTube. So I implore everybody to go watch that live stream. I don't know if you've heard, but Gina Carano's been fired from Disney. So we talked about that. I don't know. Bad joke.
Breaking news.
It was funny. I got what you were doing.
No, but no, we went in depth on the Daily Wire interview with Gina Carano and spoke about a plethora of other topics, and we being myself, Mr. Itepukuian, and Angelus Straven. And again, thank you guys for joining me over on my channel. And we have more live streams coming up soon. They're going to be kind of sporadic for the time. I'll get some kind of schedule worked out between this and my work schedule. And I just thank you guys. Thank you for the support. I've had a bump in subscribers the past couple days, and I appreciate it. So thank you.
Oh man, well, thank you as always for being a great co-host, brother. I do appreciate it, all the time you put in, man. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Pleasure's all mine.
You're welcome, man. Next on the panel, he was a late entry to the party, Mr. Enter the Unfamiliar himself.
Oh, well, thank you for having me on, even at the late last hour. I was happy to be able to jump in and talk with you guys. Thanks, Tony, for modding and putting the links in the chat, too. I appreciate that. You can, check me out at Enter the Unfamiliar on YouTube, also Final Death Star, and then the number 1 on Twitter, and Final Death Star on Instagram. I've covered the UFO phenomenon, the paranormal, biblical prophecy, strange mysteries, and hidden histories. I have a video out right now that I put out a few hours ago. It's doing pretty well so far. It's almost at 100 views, and it's about a UFO that was witnessed by airline pilots and the audio recording was released, and it just goes to show that I think there's more of this stuff is being released, and the fact that it used to be covered up, and pilots used to not talk about this because they fear of ridicule and losing their jobs, and now it's being pushed, promoted. So I think there's some kind of disclosure we're building to very soon. So you can check that out. Also, I do live show on Sunday nights on my channel with Flipped Out of the Fandom Collective. We're gonna have a very special guest on this coming Sunday who's had quite the experience with an abduction. Actually, it's happened a couple times, and he's going to talk to us about his experience. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So you definitely want to see that. It's on at 6:00 Pacific Standard Time on my channel this coming Sunday. And other than that, you can find me on Rogue Entertainment on Saturdays with Stephen Walton on his channel. And then I'm going to be hosting our Rogue Entertainment TR4 until I get monetized. Basically, Steven's given me the charge of hosting it on my channel until I'm at 1,000, which I'm building towards, getting ever so close. So you can find me over there with Culture Casino and our host tonight as well. So thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome, sir. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And let me bring on right now the last, certainly but not least, Discount Mike Zero, Culture Casino. Thank you, sir.
Hey guys, thank you for having me on the show tonight. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate your kind support for all of your future Star Wars content. Visit Discount Mike Zero Culture Casino. Thank you all so very much. Be sure to subscribe to everybody here on the panel. You guys are so gracious all the time. I can't even tell you just how much I know about Star Wars in the future. You should fully expect for George Lucas to come back and create the 6 greatest movies you've ever seen in your life. Time. That's right. It's Discount Mike Zero Culture Casino. Have a great night, everybody.
What's the meaning of life?
Oh man.
Oh shit! Thank you, man. Thank you, Culture. I've had a great time this evening with the guests, and thank you to Paulie from Latino Slant for joining us earlier. I appreciate it as always. Let's see. So you guys got 2 videos and a live stream out of me today. 2 videos, man. You can go hear me talk a little bit about the Agatha Harkness. Is she the big bad? Is that a good idea? I did that, and I did a little video about Batwoman ratings. The Batwoman video is under 6 minutes. Go watch it. I need the watch time as we march towards 1,000. Yep, I'm asking you to watch it. And I got a live stream. I got a live show every Thursday morning now. It's mornings with the Place to Be reviews. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific time. You can join me for an hour and a half before I go to work, as I will be talking about some things that we didn't get to cover tonight. And I'll be looking forward a little bit to the Walking Dead. So we'll talk about a few short little pieces of news I have about that, as I'm very excited for the Negan story arc coming up because he's my favorite character. And yeah, anyway, so I've got some projects working behind the scenes. I have a chick fight review that I'm finally going to finish putting together. Yep, I started talking about it in December 2019. The movie Chick Fight, starring Malin Ackerman, OnlyFans #1 girl Bella Thorne, and the human walking sack of garbage, Alec Baldwin, with a guest appearance by Kevin Nash. So I'll be reviewing that. And you get your WandaVision review on Saturday. I'll have another video out on Friday, probably. Let's see what else. And yeah, then it's back to next week. We got Batwoman on Monday, plus Walking Dead on Monday. Reviews will be out. The live show Monday night going in Raw at 8:30 Eastern. I'll be over on Enter the Unfamiliar channel Tuesday, 6:30 for TR4. Wednesday, remember next Wednesday, there is no Rogue Entertainment show here on the channel next Wednesday night. I will be on Mary Mayhem's channel on Wednesday night at 9 Eastern. And yeah, so no Prodigal Son review next week either. But oh yeah, me and myself and Enter the Unfamiliar will be recording a Superman and Lois review.
Yes,
that'll be coming out too. I'm going to actually go watch that right meow. I'm going to watch the premiere, and
look forward to that.
Yeah, and we'll be talking about that tomorrow. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys. Thank you so much, everybody in the chat. God bless it for joining us. I appreciate you all, man. Keely Chow, Chris Underwood, who else is Cavitano, Cavalry Trooper Che is here. M. Dastardly, Nano Reaper. Man, there was Parrot Head was here. Rookie Critic. Runner was up in here. Shellback. Thank you guys all. I appreciate each and every one of you taking the time. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I'm Itapakuian from the Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all of you. And remember, if I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow, and I'll catch you on the next one.